I speak with hundreds of business owners every single month, and everybody thinks that they have a close rate problem. They think that their setters are bad, their closers are bad, they need to hire more closers, they need to hire better closers, they themselves need to get good at sales. And in my opinion, that's almost always the wrong diagnosis. You see, what we've learned after analyzing thousands of these funnels is the thing that determines whether you have a scalable and profitable marketing system is almost never the sales team. A sales team can take a good marketing system and make it great, but it can't really take a crappy marketing system and make it good. Even some of my good friends that run offers where they place salespeople for other companies, the vast majority of the time, they spend the majority of their time together actually improving their marketing process before they even place a salesperson. Because you can't just have a superstar salesperson run your entire organization. That's key man risk, and it's not scalable. Instead, you want a marketing system that makes the average salesperson look like a superstar. So almost always, everything that determines how much money you make and how well your closers close has to do with everything before the call, upstream of the call. For example, your lead quality, your show rates, these are all big numbers that you can pull with levers to really quickly get a larger return on ad spend or make more money every single month. And what I see a lot of times when people come to me on calls is they say, hey, I need to get a better closer. I need to fix my sales scripts. But even if you did all of that, very likely you're still going to have the same numbers that you're having right now. And instead, you need to focus all your time and energy on getting the right qualified people showing up on that sales call to make it so that anybody can close those deals. The way I explain it to my sales team is that I am not judging you by your close rate. I think close rates is a cheap number to judge salespeople by. I'm judging you by your lead to close rate, your dollar per lead. If I give you 100 applications and 90 of them book, well, how many of them do you get of those extra 10 do you get to actually book? And then of those people that did book, how many of them do you actually get to show up? Because if I give you this stuff and you're doing whatever, you're getting a 30% close rate, but only 50% of your people are booking and only 50% are showing up. And this person over here has a 10% close rate, but they have 80% of people booking and 80% of people showing up. The second person is going to win every single time, right? So that's why that lead to close rate metric, everything from when they click all the way to the close, should be the biggest determining factor of whether you should scale this marketing system or not, okay? I think the industry averages on show rates is around 60%. And if you can get to 80%, that's a huge gap in revenue that you're capturing going straight to your bottom line. Now, why do close rates swing week to week? This is something I see commonly with a lot of our clients, especially in that 10 to let's say $100,000 a month range, where they're the first salesperson they've had, and then they hire somebody and they have some weeks are good and some weeks are bad. Okay, so we like to call it vibe selling. Vibe selling is when there's no real structured sales process. And so you're telling these reps to do it to ask the decision maker, but it's kind of happening sometimes, it's not happening other times. And so vibe selling is script lives in your head. You have 40% close rate one week, 15% the next. A cost per acquisition is a guess, not a number. And whenever the rep leaves, then you lost your whole system. Where a documented sales script can get you the same 4 elements that lead to a one call close every single call for every single rep that you have. Close rate is a number, not how the sales rep is feeling. Your cost per acquisition is predictable because your close rate's not swinging 50, 100% week over week. And new reps are trained in days. You're just saying, hey, watch these 50 recordings of this sales script being run and run this sales script by yourself, and then we can get you on a call, not in months, okay? So we personally feed call recordings into our AI system. We extract the language and patterns that actually close, and then we build that into every script, into every one of our client scripts. A lot of people that come to us, they're surprised when we don't change their entire sales scripts from the ground up, because a lot of times they're closing pretty well. They just don't have a structured system. We haven't figured out why does this work and why does it not work and how can we get this repeatable over and over again. So then we take that and our sales script system to get them something they can duplicate over and over and over again, right? And once close rate is a predictable number, then you can figure out how much you need to spend on ads to acquire a client. If you know for sure your close rate is between 30 to 35% week after week, it's way easier to dial up that ad volume and get more clients coming in. And just so you know, I hear a lot of people say, oh, my close rate's 10%, 20%, 30%, or they say, this rep closes at 40%, this rep closes at 15%. And they have both reps getting the same amount of calls every single day. I kind of want to walk through what it costs as far as close rates are concerned if you kind of do this vibe selling thing. So at 15% close rate, you'd be having 10 clients a month, and we're just assuming a 5K average deal, you'd be making $60,000 a month. At a 25% close rate, you get 16 clients a month at $96,000 a month. At a 40% close rate, you get 26 clients a month at $156,000 a month. From the bottom one to the top one, you're looking at literally over, what is that, $80,000 plus in pure profit hitting your bottom line just by giving it to the person that has the 40% 40% close rate, or making sure everybody is closing at 40%, right? And even just going from 15% to 25%, a 10% lift is $36,000 in profit hitting your bottom line. Okay. So it's important that you know these numbers, and it's important that you make sure that you hold your sales reps accountable for these numbers, but it's also important that you don't get upset at them if you're relying on them vibe selling and not giving them a system in the first place. Okay. So let's walk through what this complete healthy system looks like at every single stage. So your lead to close rate should be roughly 1 to 6%. Now, I know that's a really big range, but I can tell you that, we have clients that have a really high volume B2C business that do 1% that make $8 million a year. And we have other clients that do $300,000 a month, taking home $280,000 in profit, working with 10 clients, and they have a 6% lead to close rate. Show rate should be 80% plus. Now, a big part of this, I hear a lot of stinkers in the comments. It's impossible to get an 80% show rate from paid ads. Yeah, if you don't do this stuff, and also if you let anybody on the calendar. But if you have the good filtration steps, that's getting the disqualified people off the calendar, then you can definitely get it close to 80%. And close rate's 25 to 40%. Once again, this varies wildly. I can't promise you anything that's, it's going to be this percent. That would have to be a personalized diagnostic that you would do on a call with us. Okay. So without a system, you get 10 calls a day, 18 clients a month. With the system I'm talking about, 10 calls a day, 61 clients a month. If you want my help installing any of these systems in your business done for you, be sure to book a call with my team down below.